This is music, and these are 25 of my favorite thrash metal songs. This is a response to Mr. Boulder, who did an awesome video not too long ago where he went through his top 10 favorite thrash metal songs, and Cavernous Carnage did an equally awesome response video. So I'm hoping that this can become some kind of thread. Check out both of those channels. They're awesome vinyl community channels, and if you want to get educated on metal, that's two channels that you definitely need to check out. So this is not my top 25. It's just a list of 25 of my favorite thrash metal songs. I probably have hundreds of songs that I consider favorite thrash metal songs. This doesn't mean that these are the only favorite thrash metal songs I have. Just keep that in mind. Also, there will be some hot takes in here probably, and I'm sure some people will get offended. I don't care. Anyways, starting out here with from The Fear by Acid Rain, Humanoia, a song with a great drive to it, a fun chorus that you can scream along to if you want, some really cool guitar riffs, and I really like the percussive drive that one of the main riffs, and you also hear that in a drum beat. It's kind of a pseudo samba beat. But it has a nice percussive groove to it, and it's a great thrash metal song. It's a fun thrash metal song too. Up next, maybe the first hot take from Unstoppable Force by Agent Steel. I know it's a speed metal band. I kind of conflate speed and thrash metal because they overlap so much. The hot take is that I've gone with The Day at Guyana. It's an instrumental, and it's probably my favorite song from this album. But it's just a great instrumental with some great guitar riffs. It's very well put together, and it's just very enjoyable to listen to. So there you go. Up next, maybe another hot take. Agnostic Front from Warriors. I'm going with Addiction. That's the opening track. The hot take is that, of course, Agnostic Front are considered a hardcore punk band, but to me, a lot of their releases are just as much thrash as they are hardcore punk, so they're kind of crossover. And the opening track here, Addiction, is just a no-nonsense, fast, furious, straightforward crossover thrash song with a really awesome breakdown. And we're not talking metalcore breakdown, we're talking hardcore punk mosh pit breakdown. It has a chorus you can yell angrily along to if you want, and I love the vocals. A lot of people have a hard time with Roger Merritt's vocals, but I love him. So there you go. Up next, from Never Neverland by Annihilator, The Fun Palace. Nice balance between melody and aggression here. Obviously some really cool guitar work. And I love the vocals, especially in the chorus. This entire album is a thrash-to-piece, and The Fun Palace is just a great song in a sea of great songs. So there you go. Up next, from Among the Living by Anthrax, I'm going with Engines. I love the way it opens with some twin guitar harmonies, and then it kicks into a super fast thrashy part. And then this kind of song proper kicks in, which is a mid-tempo stomper of a thrash metal song. Joey Belladonna sounds fantastic on here. The entire album is a thrash-to-piece album too. And then there's, of course, the infamous War Dance breakdown. Indians, a great thrash metal song from another great thrash metal album. Up next, another album that I consider a thrash-to-piece by Inheritance, by Artillery, and I'm going with Comaniac, a song that also combines melody and aggression. And I also like how they introduce Middle Eastern sounding scales and stuff in their music on this album and in that song, and they keep using some of those scales to this day. But it's a great thrashy, aggressive song. The vocals are out of this world. It's clean singing. It's not harsh vocals, but there's just a quality to Flemming Ornstorff's, I think, as far as I remember is his name, his voice that reeks of sickness and decay. So, Comaniac. Up next, Blitz from the Nachtmahr sessions. It's just an EP. Curse of the Witch. It's a fast, thrashy song. Great riffs. Got it upside down there. Great riffs, and it's the chorus. It's just fun to sing along to this chorus. It's a great song overall. So there you go. Up next, might be a hot take because I think a lot of people don't consider Celtic Frost a thrash metal band. This is To Make a Therion, by the way. And they've done a bit of everything, including actually a lot of thrash metal, especially on their early output. A lot of the songs can probably be considered blackened thrash. And I'm going with, of course, Circle of the Tyrants. Great guitar riff, instantly recognizable main riff, and the chorus, you know, who doesn't love singing Circle of the Tyrants? And then you got the riff kicking in. It's just a legendary blackened thrash metal song. Up next, maybe another hot take. Death Angel from Relentless Retribution, The Truce. I could have gone with a song from their third album, which I considered Seemingly Endless Time, probably. That's what it's called, right? Suddenly I'm in doubt, whatever. But I went with The Truth from this album because it's just a fast, aggressive, kick-ass song, super aggressive sounding vocals, and some quite simple but compelling guitar riffs. High energy thrash metal song, and I've seen them perform it live too, so there you go. Up next, from Thrash Zone by DRI, Abduction. It's a mosh friendly song for sure, and it has some great guitar parts, a nice drive to it, and again a chorus that you can yell along to. And it gets a bit creepy towards the end because you have a bunch of kids screaming along to the chorus too. And I think it's a song about kidnapping. So there you go. Up next from Impact is Eminent by Exodus. Not Objection Overruled, although I could have gone with that one, but I'm going with The Lunatic Parade. It's a nice kind of marching-ish kind of song, which makes sense because it's Lunatic Parade. I love the main riff. It has a bit of a March of the SOD vibe to it, but I actually like the Lunatic Parade a little bit more because of Steve Zetro's vocals. It's a nice mid-tempo Zetro-fronted thrash metal song. So there you go. Up next, by Furious Trauma from Primal Touch, I'm going with Kick Ass. It sounds a bit like Slave to the Grind, and I actually considered doing a super hot take and including that song Slave to the Grind on this list, because to me Slave to the Grind is a thrash metal song, although Skid Row, I mean, they're not a thrash metal band at all. But I went with Kick Ass because you can sing kick some ass, and it has some great riffs, great drive to it. It has this main riff that's a bit reminiscent of Slave to the Grind, which I don't mind at all. You have some fun drum fills as well. And then you have a super clicky bass drum. That 90s clicky sound. And it's just a great fun song. And I've heard them play it live many times back in the 90s. Up next from Weave the Apocalypse by Invocator, I'm going with Doomed to Be. A great song with just a heavy main riff, some weird dissonant guitar harmonies in parts, and it's one of the few songs on this album that has some really up-tempo thrashy parts too. This is a kind of a mid-paced, dark and heavy thrash metal album. Very technical too. Love the drum work in Doomed to Be. They make great use of breaks and pauses and all that stuff. And there's some really nice, on on the entire album, but also in this song, of course. Really nice melodic guitar solo by Perle Hansen. So just a fantastic song from a fantastic album. Up next, by Creator, I'm going with People of the Lie. I have this one on vinyl, but it's the big 3 LP set, and this is a bit easier to hold up and show. It's a mid-tempo, another kind of marching-like song, and what I like about it, to be honest, is the chorus. Simple power chords, and then got a master plan. That's just great to sing along to. It's a great song. It's a great album too. And actually, although this album is considered part of the classic era of Creator, a lot of people don't like the new stuff by Creator. I don't have a problem with the new stuff either. Up next, from Rust in Peace by Megadeth, I'm going with Hangar 18. It's a great album. It's another thrasher piece of an album, to be honest. And I love Hangar 18. The entire song is awesome, but what really sticks out is the opening. Just a guitar riff kind of thing in the opening. But it's a great song throughout, and it's a great album. So there you go. Up next, from not Master of Puppets, and Justice for All by Metallica. I could have picked any song from Master of Puppets though, or Ride the Lightning, or most songs from Kill 'Em All, or any song from here. I could have gone with Blackened or Dyer's Eve. Maybe I should have gone with Eye of the Beholder, because that's the song that got me turned on to Metallica. But I'm going with Shortest Straw, because I was in a thrash metal band and we played that as a cover song, and I actually love the guitar parts, the riffs, the drive of the song, the way it's composed. The guitar solo is great in it as well. So that's why I'm going with Shortest Straw. Okay, from Handle with Care by Nuclear Assault. I could have picked any song from here. Critical Mass is probably my favorite song from this album, but I'm going with the opening track, New Song. It's a great way to open another thrash piece of an album. It starts out almost kind of epic sounding, and then it just kicks into a super fast and aggressive crossover thrash song. And in that song, they make great use of, little breaks and pauses between parts. And my favorite part of this song, maybe of the entire album, is just before the guitar solo. I think it is, as far as I remember. In one of those pauses, the bass just goes boom, and that's my favorite part of the entire album. It's a great thrash metal album, and it's a great song, New Song. Up next, from Years of Decay, The Years of Decay by Overkill. Yeah, no originality from me here. Elimination, awesome riffs, just tons of attitude from Bobby Blitz, and who doesn't love singing along to the chorus, and also the kind of the bridge part as well. So it's an iconic thrash metal song. It should be. Up next, probably not an iconic thrash metal song, but it's actually one of my favorite thrash metal songs, and that is from Sacred Righteous, The American Way. The Way It Is. It has this weird kind of almost off-kilter sounding beat in the verse. It's not an odd time signature or anything, but the drum beat follows the riff, so you have some snare drum accentuations that are kind of strange, and it just works very well when it just then kicks into the verse, which is straightforward, almost funky sounding. And again, not verse, chorus. So the chorus is kind of funky sounding, straightforward, and it's just fun to sing along to. And there's this nice contrast between the verse and the chorus. The guitar solo is fantastic too. All the guitar solos on this album are, but in particular in that song. Up next, yeah, no originality from me here either. Arise, From Arise by Sepultura, an iconic thrash metal song, super fast, super aggressive. Instantly recognizable riffs, a weird guitar solo. Max Cavalera sounds awesome. I had a bit of a hard time getting into Sepultura to begin with because I had to get used to harsh vocals, but this album was one of the albums that taught me to appreciate harsh vocals. So, yeah, just a thrash metal classic. Arise. Now a hot take from God Hates Us All by Slayer, The Disciple. Here's the hot take. I know it borders on blasphemy. The Disciple is my favorite Slayer song. And although I love early Slayer, I prefer latter-day Slayer. Slayer, by the way, is one of those bands that I had a hard time getting into, but when it clicked, it clicked. But I prefer latter-day Slayer because of Old Man Araya. Tom Araya sounds so angry and bitter on the latter-day releases, like from the 2000s and on. There's just so much anger and bitterness to his voice. You know, you can hear the life experience in his voice, and I just love that. And I think the early Slayer albums lack that. And the song "The Disciple" I think is the song that captures Old Man Araya the best. So that's why I'm going with that song. I know it's blasphemy. I don't care. Up next, from Lights Camera Revolution, I'm going with You Can't Bring Me Down. Great opening, great riffs when it kicks in, super angry, kind of empowering song too. And you know, you have some awesome guitar work by Rocky George, and it's in many ways the kind of the epitome of a great Suicidal Tendencies song from, I think, their entire catalog, to be honest. The entire album is great, so check it out, but You Can't Bring Me Down in particular. Okay, up next, yeah, not too much to show here. Dark Roots of the Earth by Testament. And I know this is a hot take too. By the way, the reason why I'm just showing you the disc is that it's the Digibook version, and I have the Digibook stored safely somewhere else. Anyways, Dark Roots of the Earth, and the hot take part is, of course, that I haven't picked an early Testament song, but I'm going with Native Blood because that is my favorite Testament song. Again, it's not a ding on their early stuff. I love early Testament, but Native Blood, just fantastic riffs throughout, great vocal melodies as well, and it's kind of technical without being super techie thrash, and you know, Chuck Billy sounds fantastic in this song on this entire album, and what I really like about it is that they use blast beats in the chorus. The guitar part is melodic, the guitars and the vocals kind of follow the same melody, but then you have blast beats in this song and also in Real American Hate. So I really like how Testament kind of took some inspiration from some of the younger bands who were inspired by Testament. Native Blood, also like the lyrical content for sure. Up next, by Vulture from Deal in Death, I'm going with just the Court of Caligula. It's a great thrash metal song, and it's one of those songs where, yeah, the chorus is just fun to sing along to, but you got awesome riffs, guitar solos, you know, aggression and all that stuff. It's a great thrash metal song, but it's kind of the chorus that just, you know, makes it stand out to me. And up last, from For Whose Advantage by Eccentrics. This is my favorite Eccentrics album, Questions. It's a song that, again, combines aggression and melody. It combines kind of refined, almost like a refined, almost semi-technical approach with just aggression and, you know, great picking, guitar picking as well. And it's a very well composed song, and again, it's a song where you can kind of yell along to the chorus. So great thrash metal song from, I consider this a thrash to piece too, Most people prefer the first album by Eccentrics. I prefer this one, but you know, Questions, great song. So there you go. Those were 25 of my favorite thrash metal songs. Thanks for watching.